Yeah. This email I dropped in the chat. It's from Otherland. They are a candle brand. They have some great aesthetics, great assets, which sometimes, I mean, actually, a lot of times can make or break an email. Like if you have your own assets or you're working with a client who really doesn't have the assets, what can you do? You can't make things out of thin air, right? You really do need different assets to actually make things pop, make things look interesting. And if the brand itself doesn't have those, can make it close to impossible. But regardless, let me show you actually in milled what this one looked like. So we have some GIF movement up at the top. We got some candles, almost like they're cut out of a magazine. Love that look. We have some opening copy, our CTA. We then transition into the next piece. But if you look, the background has texture. This is one thing that I harp on all the time is like, they could have just put a dark brown background and then it danced on top of that. That's great. But another dimension to that is having in actual textures. You see, it's kind of like splotchy, like there's like beiges coming in. Love that. And then it transitions into this paper. Like, I love it. And I'll show you, it's so easy. Y'all, it's so easy to do this. I'm going to show you exactly. We have some of this. We have some product call outs here. Love it. And then a nice call out at the bottom. It breaks it up. So let's head over into our email. So if you're familiar with Figma, if you're not, check out my YouTube tutorials, check out the past live streams. I have some different things you can watch to really get familiar with Figma. So I'm going to go a tad fast. I'm not going to harp on some of the kind of 101 things. Check out the past live stream on that. So let's dive into it. Okay. I'm going to use a frame. So I always frame my items in Figma 600 width, which is the standard width of an email. And let's go ahead and just line it up. I mean, and this is a hack, y'all. If you really want to, refine your skills and you really want to be like, how can I do this? Honestly, repetition, practicing, find an email you like, try to recreate it. Once you learn like, oh, if I press this and I do this, it becomes so much easier. And then you're able to just be able to crank out emails faster, be more creative with your designs once you learn how other people are doing those designs. So, all right. Also, let's go ahead and what I like to do is kind of wireframe it. So we have one section up here. For now, I am going to just make it like a brown color here, just so I can see it. I like it color blocked so I can really see it. And then I just dropped in a rectangle, y'all, and then I'm going to get my paper one. So like I said, they could have just done this, right? But it's very flat. That's what I'm talking about. You gotta have that texture on an email. You gotta have some dimension. You ever have a client who tells you, make it pop? This is what I'm talking about. This is how you can make it pop. Okay, and we have some pieces up here. I'm gonna go ahead and drop in a rectangle. We'll get our CTA right here. Let's go and shrink that, line it up. You can do some quick alignments here. I don't know, if you didn't know this, you can use kind of to get things all centered up. And I'm going to skip this bottom section. I'm just going to really focus on the main part of the email here. All right, let me go ahead. We're going to be that. Let's go ahead and get our smaller CTA here. And honestly, you could drop it over the top and get the exact sizing. We don't need to be that exact. We're going to just recreate it as closely as we can. And then for now, just to block it out, let's just say we have a candle here, and a candle here. And we have our candles up at the top. Sure, let's add them up here too. So we'll end up figuring this out after. So say we got our blocks here. Let's drop our CTA down just a tad and drop this one down. And let's go ahead and get in some text here. So what I like to do is go to lorem ipsum io, just so I can literally lorem ipsum this. Okay, where's my text block? Let's go ahead and drop in one. Perfect. We're going to center this. Typically with your designs, I've seen this comment come up in the group before, but I like to shoot for around a 20-point font. Sometimes it can look a bit large. Like when I'm comparing these side by side, they probably use something closer to an 18. That looks more fitting. So we can stick with an 18. Just look at your email on mobile. That's the main concern. You want to make sure it doesn't look absolutely minuscule on mobile. Okay. So just throwing that out there. Let's also go ahead and get our, and don't worry about fonts. We're not worrying about fonts right now. Like those are all finishing touches. Okay. We ain't worried about that. So we got Shop Homestead. It looks like theirs are maybe a bit, well, it's a different font, like I said, but we're going to spread out our text as well. Lovely. And then we have a title up here, really fun. So we have like home. So I'm going to crop that into its own block. Let's make that larger. And then stead is its other piece. So I like to operate those within two separate pieces. So right now, it looks like we're working within a Microsoft Paint right now. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Don't panic. I'm not panicking. Don't panic. But we're going to just fill in some of these smaller pieces. And then we'll get into a bit more of the actual design elements because there's some fun things they're really doing in this one that I love. Okay. And then let's just get our description right here. We'll tighten that one up. And then we have a title up here. For now, we'll just make that bold, make it 23. We're just going to say title. So we got title, actually probably even a little bit larger, but that's fine. We'll do this piece. Well, let me zoom in for y'all as well. I'm sure it's probably a bit small, but we're just framing it out. Okay. We are trying to frame out what they have here. So do not overcomplicate it. Don't get stuck in the details. Don't be trying to like, get too caught up in all of the nitty gritty. Okay. So we're outlining this piece. We got this. We got our title, shop now, candle, candle, candle. Ooh, I forgot about our title here. So I'm going to lock this block, move this down. And for now, we're just going to grab this home and plop it right here. Okay. Our email looks ugly right now, but soon it will be beautiful. Soon. Okay. First things first, let's get into the texture at the top. For their logo, let me see if I can just go ahead and get otherland.com. I hope that doesn't take me to something. Okay. You never know. Sometimes, it'll take you to something crazy. And I'm like, okay, I didn't mean to go to what's happening here. Okay, sweet. They actually have, so we're going to kind of just take things from their site. So I'm going to inspect this site. If you ever have a client who's not giving you assets and you need to steal some things. Oh, is it an SVG? Okay, that complicates things. Okay, you know what? Fine, we won't do a logo. Wait, let me see. We need a white logo. That's not gonna work. Okay, we're just gonna pretend we're not gonna let this hold this up. Logo, okay? Just imagine a logo. There are, if you ever run into that issue, there are some SVG converters where you can grab that exact link I was looking at, right? So we have this like SVG link happening here. Let me see if I can grab the exact link because I don't think this one will work, but usually you can search through here and find an actual SVG link, drop it into an SVG converter, and it'll turn it into a PNG, or actually it'll allow you to download it. Sorry, it's not converting it. It'll allow you to download it. So that way, when you pop it into Figma, you can manipulate it. Okay. So let's get texturing. So we're not going to do the exact thing that they have because I don't have this asset, but let's see what we can do in our wonderful Canva. Okay. In Canva, I have a 600 by 600. Let's resize that. Let's do a 600 by 900. We'll go with that. And we're going to search for watercolor. Watercolor background. Okay. Let's look back at our design. So it's actually very dark. I see like a little bit of like these splotches here. Let's see if we can get as close as possible. Here, see all. You know what? That first one wasn't terrible. And it has kind of a paper texture. Let's go with that. We're going to edit this. And then if y'all come into duotone, whoops, not what I'm looking at, duotone, you can customize this to be the exact colors you want. So let's go back in. We have this dark shade of brown here. We're going to pop that in. And then our secondary color is going to be the lighter shade. So let's grab this shade here. Go back in. Pop that one in. Let's see if that worked for our... Actually, I might need to swap it. I know I'm clicking around like crazy. Sorry. The highlight, this color. And then the low shadow color, this darker brown. And let's see if we can get it to work. All right, I'm going to manipulate this one a bit more because I want it to be... Let's drop the intensity. That's not terrible. That gives us a bit of the texture that we want. I'm going to go ahead and download that one. And let's plop it in. We'll take a look. We'll see. Do we like it? Do we hate it? Okay. Definitely a different shade, but honestly, like we're not going for perfection here. You know what? Let me go back into it. Now I am going for perfection. I'm wanting to manipulate it a bit. Let's go. Wait, back to the intensity. I want this shadow. Actually, might need to be like this and a bit like that. Okay, that might be too dark, but let's see. Regardless, if y'all ever need like textures, honestly, you can literally come in here and say textures and then come in here and play with textures and use those as a part of your background. Like it's that easy. Okay. That's actually a lot closer. Lovely. That works. Okay. So, I mean, we could play around with some of the positioning, some of the pieces, but we have some texture happening now in the background. Let me undo. I liked it better that way. Okay. Let me delete the one underneath it. Boo, 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 boo. Okay. All right. Let's work through our candles here. Let's go to Otherland and take their product images. I'm gonna convert and save. This is a hack if a lot of websites have the WebP, I think it's like WebP images. You can do convert and save as and get it as a PNG, and that's a lifesaver, in case you didn't know. All right, we're just gonna use the same one. Let's plop this one in here. All right. Uploads. And here's what we're going to do. We're literally going to edit photo and we're going to do background remover. I think, is this free? I forget how, I don't think it's on Pro. I think it's free. But background eraser is, I mean, it's great. I mean, just like that. It's perfect. So we're going to actually, y'all, no, we're not, because now that I'm thinking about it, they do kind of cutouts of that image. Oh, okay, let me show you something awesome and cool and amazing. Okay. Okay, I have all my stuff. Let's see. So that is the image that they're using, right? So, you know, let's move our little things here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make our own cutout. So you can make your own what they call a mask in the design. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come over to the pen tool and we are going to haphazardly cut it out like the design did. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to go, okay, I'm like cutting it out as if I'm actually scrapbooking. I just want to see and kind of compare the two. Honestly, you could kind of cut over this one and like use it that way. Oh, it's fine. So we use this. We got a hard triangle right there. Okay, we're cutting it out as if we're doing our vision board, y'all. Okay, boom. Remove the stroke, fill it in. I want it to fill in. Did I not connect it? Look at that. Look at that. It's not connected. There we go. The smallest of things. Okay, beautiful. Look at us. Okay, put the image over it. We're holding the two together. We're right clicking and we're using as a mask. guys, look at it. We have our little cutout. How cute. Boom. Candle 1 done. Okay. It's that easy. It's that easy. So we have our little cutout. How cute. Adorable. We need to go to our other candles. So let's do it. Let's cut out the other one. So we got Dapple, Autumn Land. Okay, that's one of them. And the other one, was it this one? If not, it's going to be that one. Okay. And by the way, I don't think I ever said this. I did not design this email. So this is some other magical designer's design. So respect to them. Okay. This is just a learning. We're just learning, that not claiming ownership of this design whatsoever. Okay. But we are going to use it as inspiration today in our recreation. Okay, let's do our other one. Okay, this one had a hand. I didn't see the hand. Where's the hand? Do we have that one? No. It's probably down here, I'm sure. We're not going to go through all that, okay? No. We're just going to cut out another one. So let's do it again. Grab our pen tool. We're just going to haphazardly cut this sucker out. Doop, 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 doop. Cut. Fill it in. And let's do it all again, except for our vector. Make sure your vector is below. So you're masking your image into below it. So image needs to be on top, right click. You have both selected, use as a mask. And we now have our next candle. Whoops. All right, candle number 2. You know what? We're just gonna be like that, like, oh yeah, collaging it together. How lovely. And then our last one here, scaling this down. And kind of a similar vibe, it looks like. Okay, so we're gonna cut this one out. And we're just like literally just chopping away at it. Chop. Fill it in. And then grab both and mask. Oh, this one might have been a bit too choppy, but that's fine. So we then have our next cutout. Lovely, lovely. Okay. It's coming together, y'all. It's coming together. So let's like tipsy-turvy it a bit. We don't have our hand up here, which is fine. They did do this little ribbon piece. I don't know if we really need it, but let's look in Canva. Let's see if it exists. Watercolor ribbon. Whoops, water ribbon. So let's see if we can find one that's somewhat similar. Can I change the color of that one? I guess I could. I could duotone it and change the color, but oh, how beautiful. Okay, lovely. Let's do edit photo. Let's do duotone. Perfect. Transparent. We're going to grab our image here and download. So we're not going for perfection, people. Like I said, not going for perfection. We are just trying to get some of this looking similar, just so we can kind of understand the vibe of it. Oh, how lovely. A nice little ribbon. Okay. Love it. Great. We do have little characters here. Let's see if we're able to get these characters. Ooh, I see a character there. Here's what we're about to do right now. We're going to back. It's Control-Shift-4, and I am going like so. I'm going to, again, drop that in. We're going to edit photo, background remover. Might not work. This is a bit of a tricky one, but let's see. Oh, lovely. I don't want the string though. Let's go back. He's sitting on a hand. I might be able to make this work. Okay, we'll leave him there for now. We'll come back to him. Let's see. We had a mushroom. I don't see a mushroom here. Oh, there it is. All right, let's inspect. Let's see if we can take it from the site. Yes. Vert and save. That one. That one. Love it. So what they have with that one though is it like attached to a bit of a background. We'll mess with that in a second. There's a way we could cut that out into an actual texture, but for now, let's just go with the mushroom kind of like there. All right, we need to fix our top section here, right? Oh, I do need a butterfly though. Okay, find a butterfly. Let's see if we can find a nice, oh, not like that, a nice script font that works for this. Okay, it's a lovely little font. Oh, you know what we can do? Let's just see, just in case. Oh, I don't see it actually on their website. I was going to do Font Ninja to see if I could see what the font was, but since it's not actually applied to the website, not going to be doable. Right. No. Oh my goodness. It's so funny when you look at these. Oh, actually, do home so I can see it. You see it here, and then it's actually applied and it looks absolutely bonkers. Like it is not going to work for what we want to do. Good enough. Home. All right, we got our home. Let's get the stid. That looks like a really familiar font, actually. I feel like that one is on their site. So I'm going to use my extension, Font Ninja. If you don't have this, highly recommend. Not sponsored. They're using Young Serif. Okay, let's see if that is in here. Nope. See if there's another serif that could work, though. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no. Meh. Close enough. That kind of works. All right, we're going to make this one larger. Like so. And then we're going to kind of tie the two together there. Not exact as the other one, right? If we had the exact fonts, I'm sure, lovely. Can I make this italic? Oh, I really wanted to make it italic. There you go. We have the front section, homestead. Okay. I like, okay, the ribbon there is great, but when you compare it side by side, it looks like the off-brand ribbon. Like it looks off-brand. Tempted to remove it, but we'll leave it for now. It's fine. Okay, let's see if we can find that lovely butterfly. I'm not seeing it. There is that little mushroom thing. Okay, we'll make do. I think what we could also do is maybe cut out. Oh no, but there's not like in the images, I was hoping there was like something I could cut out to do there. I mean, but you can imagine adding in and like cutting out different pieces like we just did, right? And have that be there. So we have our introduction here. I'm not going to fill it in for like time's sake, but we have our image and then here, and then we have our mushroom. Fantastic. Okay, let's jump into the next section because it has already been 30 minutes, so I'm already behind. But we'll try to knock out this bottom section, okay? Here we have some paper texture. So paper texture, great. What I would love to do, okay, first let's get the paper texture actually. Let's do that first. So we're gonna come in here, elements, and we're gonna do paper and see if we can get our paper texture that we want. That is a bit too, now I'm searching for the perfect paper. Let's edit this one and see if we can, again, duotone custom, see if we can actually kind of tea stain this one a bit more. This would be a great background texture though. This is like, it's pretty good. Let's do that for the highlight and then maybe let's pull that into a bit more all the way. Actually, just matches the light. Their paper is a bit more authentically papery, but I think we can make do. We probably search for some more paper, but it's good enough. It's fine. I'm sure like they had an asset that they actually pulled from for that one, but all good. Download. And then let's head back in. and get this applied. Okay, so we have our paper here. So our paper doesn't extend all the way down. We have a couple options here. I usually like to just kind of like expand it all the way, and it's fine. Or we could actually adjust the email within, or the design within Canva, and kind of edit it that way. Okay, mine is a little bit yellow, but that's fine. Okay, for our piece here though, see how it kind of like tears? I'm going to come in. Hey Jess, are you able to design this in Canva instead of Figma? Designing this in Canva to me would be just too much of a giant headache, personally. Like being able to pull things off to the side and add them back in and and like changing my sizing, like changing sizing in Canva. Like if you ever try to like change an email that you have designed and you're like, okay, let me like shorten it by a couple pixels, or, you know, and then like the whole thing is just like, does not expand the way you want it to. It drives me crazy. I personally just find it faster to design within Figma, personally. So I would say stay in Figma. If you haven't explored Figma, or if it seems too overwhelming, I totally get that. You could potentially design this in Canva, but I think it would take, like, to me, in my opinion, I think it would take twice as long. And there might be like formatting issues, and it might not look exactly like the final result we're trying to do here. Personally, that's what I think. But Canva's pretty kick butt though. It can really do a lot of things, so I wouldn't be surprised if you're able to kind of make it work over there. Okay, for this paper cutout, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come here and I'm going to kind of like trace along. Doesn't need to be perfect. It is a piece of paper, right? We're going to come down here and then close it off. So again, I'm making like a masking frame here. Like this piece here, trying to do this in Canva, I don't even, you can't even mask. I don't think you can mask in Canva. Unless they release a new, which I'm surprised. If they haven't released that, they really should. But masking and like trying to pull things into each other like this, like you have to use Canva frames. And that's super limiting. Like that is so limiting sometimes. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, our vector is all the way up here. Pull this in. Pull this below our paper. And then we're going to mask those two. And then you see how when I masked it, there was still like there's still cut out here that it's not filling in. So I'm going to grab our paper here and expand it. Okay, so we have a little bit of action there with our paper tearing. We could refine this a lot more. Like I probably made it a bit too jagged, but yeah, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, let's go ahead and honestly, let's grab our pictures here. So have our picture. So what they have here is more of a watercolor. I would really need their specific asset for that, but you could always come in. I mean, let's do this. How about this? We'll do this. So let's imagine we have our candle here, and then we're going to come over here again. We're going to go back to watercolor. Let's drop this in, and let's grab some colors. Sometimes the color selection is a little bit clunky. We're going to grab this orange just so I can show you what you could do with it, right? Edit, duotone, custom, paste that in. And then, no, I want to do a secondary color. This really light one. Does it wash out too much? I was worried about that. My duotone, let's drop our intensity. I'm gonna have to have the highlight. So you can play with this watercolor one. Ideally, I was looking for like, yeah, that works actually. We'll do current page, download. So what I was thinking is that I'm going to go back into my design, grab this watercolor. So we have a duplicate of our cutout, and we're kind of doing the same thing. We're like masking again into our thing. Oops, not the rectangle. This piece here. Get this rectangle out of here. And then you could grab that right? We're doing it behind it. Behind it, I have so many layers, but we're placing it right behind, right? So it has this like watercolor piece behind it that's a bit more like, you know, has some more elements to it. You can even make it a bit larger, a bit smaller. But I think kind of cutting it out like that, it's not too crazy. I wish my watercolor was a bit more obvious. So I would try to find a different watercolor for that one. But like theirs is bright orange, actually. I should have grabbed their colors. Why didn't I do that? But theirs is bright orange. I should have grabbed the bright orange. So we have that piece there. Let's go over here. Let's grab our red. Grab this exact red. Okay, so then we have, you know, our product title, Woodlands. Actually, let's grab this because I want this font. Woodlands, and then we'll shrink this down, 45, pop it in. Palo Santo. I love the smell of Palo Santo. Oh my God, I gotta find the, what do you call it? The alt for the dot. But good enough. Smoked vanilla. You know what? Instead of doing that for now, I'm just gonna do hard return. That is not what they have though. We'll do a dash. It's fine. Okay, so let's imagine we have all of our product stuff lined up here. And I'm just doing Control C, Control V. And then we have our other product images. But for now, we're just kind of popping these ones in. Let's change our lineup so it's a bit more even. Go. That. Square that up. And then we would just need to go through and change the actual image pieces. I tried to do this in under 30 minutes and it failed, but as close as I could be. So you can take those different kind of trinket pieces that they have there, sprinkle them around. Like for now, we have our little mushroom, right? But let's just add a bit more dimension by like putting our little mushroom here. That's what I hate about Figma sometimes. I can't find my scroll bar. Where is it? Like I'm blind. Where the heck? There it is. But imagine we had all of our little pieces here. So we're like sprinkling around all the different pieces. We have our paper. Mine's a bit tea stained. Theirs is a bit more classical, like little paper, but it's fine. But as you can see, like execution wise, these are the steps you could follow to kind of get a similar look. The last thing we didn't touch on, which is an important piece, is the GIF. So here's what I recommend. You can either pull this piece. Actually, let me go ahead and do that. So we're going to go like this. So say you want to do a GIF in Figma. There's so many different ways to do it. Classically, this is the way I do it. So I'll come in. We have our final email design. We're not worried about the bottom part. We're just worried about this piece here. So I'm going to come in. Okay, so this is our first frame. This is our second frame. So we're going to dance them around. Dancing, dancing, dancing. So imagine this is the GIF. We danced a bit. Second part of the GIF. Dancing again, maybe a little bit, not too much. Boom. Okay. We got 1, and then we got 2, and then we got 3. So you're going to come over to your slice tool. You're going to slice right here, because your next slice, when you go to import this into Klaviyo, into MailChimp, wherever you're using, will begin right at this line, okay? So we're going to copy that, pull that over, boom, then pull that over, and then boom, make sure my lines are definitely not lined up. So you see it says 600, or did not say 600. I need that to say 600. So we're going to go like that. Let's go back to that other one. Slice. And this is where you should really organize your layers, because look at me now. Like, I'm like, where is my other slice? Okay, there we go. 600. Make sure it's right on the edge. close that one out. And then this one, let's make sure that's 600. And lined up. Okay, y'all, we got our 3 frames, right? You're gonna come over here to export. I'm gonna do them at 2x just so I can make sure I can retain as much quality as possible. So I'm gonna export that. Frame 2, I'm gonna export 2x. And then frame 3, I'm gonna export at 3x. Oh, 3x, what the heck? 2x, don't listen to me. And we're gonna come over and we need to make a, well, we'll just resize, it's fine. So we need to make sure this matches the exact design size we just did, right? So in our frame, we see that we are 600 by 605. So you're gonna come over here and do 600 by 605. We're gonna resize, okay? Let's go ahead and drop in our uploads here. Whoop. See all my crazy tabs. Drop it in, drop it in. And we're gonna pop it in just like that. Just gonna let it pop in. Popping it in. Popping it in, okay? Boom, boom. Now we're kind of playing it around. Okay, this one's a bit crazy. It danced a bit too much, but that's fine. It's fine. So we got 3, right? Boom, boom, boom. Here at Canva, you're gonna come down here. You see this whole duration thing? We have so many tabs, but don't worry about it. We're gonna come down to edit timing. You wanna get that down. We're gonna do like 4 seconds. 4 seconds might be too quick, but let's see. We can mess with it after we see it. So we're just gonna play, boop, boop. Okay, got a flavor for it. I just wanna see how it moved together, right? Gonna come over here, download. We are going to do, not select all. I'm gonna do 1 and then 2 and then 3, okay? Download those 3 as GIFs, download. Okay, we're gonna go back into our Figma design. So those were our 3 frames, right? Just to keep things super clean, I'm gonna move these guys to the side, grab my original, pop it over here. We're gonna say that this is final design. And seems a bit crazy, but you're just gonna delete this. You're just gonna delete this, it's fine. We just wanna move it out of the way. And then we have our GIF. Oh, don't do that. Don't do what I just did. Drop it in outside of the frame. Okay, why are you being crazy? Hold on. My thing exported absolutely funky. I've never had that happen before. Hold on. Download. Oh, that's do GIF 600 by 900. No, that's not what I want you to do. Oh, I know what it's trying to do. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I don't know what happened. My finger slid forward and made it 600 by 900 or something. So just be careful of that. We want the exact dimensions we defined, okay? Because it will try to do all that. How dare you? How dare you make me look crazy? Okay, we'll let that download. Give that a few seconds. I just want to show you how it kind of comes together once you have it placed in. So, and actually build your email, that's where you would take that GIF, that's your first block, and you plop that in the top. Okay, beautiful. This is what I wanted. So we're going to fit it in right where it's supposed to be. Make sure it lines up. Okay, you're always going to have, and this is the thing, you're always going to have quality diminishing when you make something a GIF. So just throwing that out there. If you're ever kind of like, oh my God, like, why does it looks blurry? It's like, you don't have an option. Like you really don't have an option because it needs to be optimized to fit in your email because you can't have a 8,000 kilobyte thing happening here. So let's just see, go over here on Figma, let's press play and let's just see how it looks. Lovely. So once we actually go to plug this into an email, we could see it moving around. The one on the left is doing too much, I'm just going to say. And maybe 0.4 seconds was too short. We can maybe extend that a bit. But we have our little cutouts. They're dancing. We're doing all these things. You scroll down. We have our little paper. We have our little cutouts. Definitely changing these for the actual candles, the actual characters. But y'all, that's, okay, 42 minutes. We outlined the bare things that we need to finish up this email, okay? We were able to cut things out, make it look like it's kind of like, you know, chopping into another paper piece here. I think the main things I'm unhappy about with this design is my watercolor in the back. So I think hunting for the right watercolor is key. Or Or you could make your own. This is crazy, but if you have an iPad, if you have Procreate, you could make your own. Like that's a whole next level. I'm sure they probably did something like that. But then once you're ready to plug this in to your actual email program, like we just did with this top one, let's go to my final design. We have our slice. I would copy this slice and I would drop it in so it connects right there. I mean, we can make this one slice. So we're shopping the collection. We're then shopping candle number 1. We're then slicing candle number 2. And then we're then slicing candle number 3. And you can then just come up, export. We're exporting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, plugging them into an email, and we're ready to hit test, see how it looks, make sure it looks a-okay, everything's working. Y'all, that's basically it. That's basically, this was rushed a bit. Typically, you know, don't want to do this too quickly for your emails, but in general, like this would be kind of the building blocks of getting this one going. If y'all have any other questions, drop them in the comments, but hopefully this was really helpful. Catch up, watch this again, look for some tips and tricks. Would love to hear what you think as far as like, actually don't tell me what you think about the final design because it's not really done, okay? But as far as pulling it together, I think we came pretty darn close without having the actual assets to work from, okay? So hopefully this was helpful. Drop it in the comments what you guys think, and let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Boop. Yeah, and y'all just let me know what you think. I will catch you in the next live stream. Like I said in a post, my Black Friday challenge will be coming. So if you need help figuring out what the heck to do for Black Friday, what's working in 2023, how to design your Black Friday emails, all these things, keep an eye out. Facebook group, you're getting first dibs on seats for it. There's also a VIP seat option, and those are very limited. Like I can't really take all that much because it's going to be a Q&A thing, and I don't want to go too crazy with it. Make sure everybody gets some good one-on-one time. So keep an eye out. That's going to be coming out soon. Hopefully next week. Oh God, don't hold me to that. Maybe next week, but we'll see. But thanks for joining me, guys. Hopefully this was helpful, illuminating on seeing how things come together. And I will see y'all in the next training, okay?